Alright guys, and we are back, made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast, episode 3.
What up?
Kurt Mackey, Hunter Keister back for episode 3, made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. We got a good one for you guys. It's Super Bowl week here. Last game of the NFL season, we got the Rams taking on the Bengals. So we're going to touch on that. First, we're also going to touch on the NFL award winners. I know Kurt has one that he finally got what he deserved, and
it's about time.
We got a couple good ones.
Time.
There's a couple good discussions we'll have there. So we'll start there, and then we'll touch on the Michigan versus Purdue game a little bit, and then head into the highlighted matchup in Chrysler tonight, as Michigan is set to take on Ohio State at 6:30 tonight. So starting with the NFL honors, let me pull up all of the honored award winners, and we will start to touch on them. Kurt, what did you think about the NFL honors awards and who won what?
I think they got pretty much most of them right. Aaron Rodgers definitely should have been MVP. Cooper Kupp definitely deserved to be Offensive Player of the Year. TJ Watt, don't need to talk about that. It's about time. Should be 3-time.
You're not all doing better.
Just gonna go over that. Jamar Chase absolutely deserved Rookie of the Year in offense.
Yep.
Micah Parsons, defense for sure. He even got more votes for Defensive Player of the Year than Aaron Donald did.
Oh yeah, Parsons is gonna be nasty. Yep.
We'll see.
Oh, Matthew. Nice.
Comeback Player of the Year was Joe Burrow. I feel like that's pretty fair.
Prescott. I thought Prescott personally. He tore his leg. He tore his leg in half. He tore his leg in half.
I guess he probably suffered a worse injury
and came back.
But they're looking at, Dallas one and done as usual.
Yeah.
Since he
in the Super Bowl, his second year. There's a case for both of them. I think that's an interesting debate.
Cincinnati went from worst to first.
Right. I think that Joe definitely deserved it, but just Prescott.
That's debatable. Yeah, I can see
Prescott
why.
Prescott coming back from that horrific injury. That
was awful.
Yeah, it was.
That was visually very awful.
Right. Yeah, that was nice to see, and glad for both of them. Joe Shiesty in the Super Bowl already. Who would have thought, man? Who would have thought? The Bengals come out of the AFC.
And Coach of the Year, Mike Vrabel for Tennessee. That's pretty fair.
Yeah. From losing Derrick Henry.
Not a lot of people could.
And they made the playoffs. Yeah, I think
first seed.
I think I would. Yeah, I think I would.
That's fair.
I would say I would give it to him too.
I mean, he covered up Ryan Tannehill as long as he could, but then he got exposed.
And
that's about it. That's all the.
Justin Tucker won Moment of the Year with this 66-yard
against
boot.
Detroit.
Yeah.
I think that tied the record. 66 yards. That's insane.
Did anybody miss the Hall of Fame that you thought were gonna make it?
Oh, actually, there were a couple first-year nominees that could have made it. Andre Johnson was one.
Oh,
he missed.
I feel like he should have definitely been a Hall of Famer. He carried Houston for forever.
Who else was there?
Hester, right? Wasn't there Hester?
Devin Hester didn't get in either.
I think he should.
Kind of ridiculous.
Just so you guys know, if you don't, Tony Baselli, Leroy Butler, Sam Mills, Richard Seymour, Bryant Young, Cliff Branch, Art McNally, and Dick Vermeil?
A lot of older players.
They all got inducted to the Hall of Fame this year.
Richard Seymour got in?
Yep.
Oh, wow.
Sam Mills for the Saints. Let's go.
I think that... What, a linebacker for them? I don't know. Those are a lot of older dudes.
Yeah. Yep. Bunch of guys that played before. Definitely I was born, and I'm sure for Kurt too. Dan Quinn won Assistant of the Year. That's pretty fair, because that Cowboys defense went from
trash,
pretty bad to pretty good.
Solid.
Anything else? What do we got down here? Bud Light Shelly of the Year. Miami Dolphins defensive line Christian Wilkins. Worm. That's funny. DraftKings Fantasy Player of the Year. Cooper Kupp makes sense. Grounds Player of the Year. FedEx. Oh, air and ground. Brady won that. Jonathan Taylor won the ground award. Sack leader away was obviously T.J. Watt. Let's make sure we got everything else. Fan of the year, Atlanta Falcons. Oh, gross. Atlanta Falcons fan won a fan of the year, and that is disgusting. Most valuable
I don't know.
player
They had fans.
delivered by Peter.
I thought they all left after that 28-3 collapse.
Who else was really even in the running for MVP? Like,
it was pretty much. It was like between Brady.
oh, Brady, yeah, for sure.
Rodgers, and I want to say maybe Jonathan Taylor or Cooper Kupp.
Yeah.
If I had to guess.
So there's really nothing.
But it's always a quarterback award.
Yeah, no,
let's be honest.
Yeah, it definitely. It always will be.
They never.
It always has.
Unless you have an 8.
Yeah. I mean, even Derrick Henry had a fantastic, incredible, record-breaking season, and he still didn't even get it. So what more?
Last year he did.
Yeah. What more does he even have to do to get that?
I think he had 2,000 yards rushing last year, and they just.
Yeah, looked right over
What?
it. Yep.
They just
looked right over it. That's just MVP is a quarterback's award. It always has been and always will be.
Unfortunately.
But as we break away from the honors award, as that was a pretty easy discussion, nothing really to debate. Other than in years past, this year it was pretty nail on the head for me, and I believe for Kurt too. Yeah, nail on the head.
It was pretty obvious who was going to win. Nothing really to debate.
Got it.
Honestly.
So now we will jump into our coverage of this year's Super Bowl, coming from Vegas. Yes.
Los Angeles.
Oh, it's in LA, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because they're the home team.
The Rams.
The Rams are the home team. Yep. One of them LA places.
Vegas was where the Pro Bowl was last
Yeah,
weekend.
right. Oh, that Pro Bowl's a joke. I thought about talking about that on this podcast, but they don't even deserve to hear what I have to say.
The only thing we should say about it is get rid of it or change it.
Get rid of it or change it, and I wasted like 2 hours of my day watching that because it was awful, and that's all that I will even say about it because it was honestly.
That's all it deserves.
It was
That's
garbage.
all it deserves.
Yep. So we're gonna get into the Super Bowl coverage as Matty Stafford, and the LA Rams take on the Cincinnati Bengals. From worst to first, Joe Shiesty comes back, torn ACL, garbage O-line, and he gets it done. I mean, he's a winner. He won in college at LSU, and in his second year, he's already taken the Bengals to the Super Bowl in what could really be a dynamic, threesome on that offense. They get an O-line. That's the thing about the Bengals. They're not going to go away anytime soon. So for them to already make the Super Bowl is crazy. I think that seeding definitely helped them out with the Chiefs and Bills taking one of them taking the other out, clearing the way for the Bengals to only have to beat the Chiefs. And they locked up Patty Mahomes, played pretty well on Tyreek Hill, and now it's going to be the tail of the tape. For me, it's going to be Aaron Donald and Von Miller versus that offensive line, and Cincinnati's DBs versus Odell and Cooper Kupp. I think those are the two biggest matchups to watch, and I think that's the two deciding factors. What do you say so far, Kurt?
I would agree for the most part. If the Rams, I'm just gonna say if that the O-line for the Bengals doesn't hold Aaron Donald and Von Miller, Leonard Floyd, and those dudes, they're not gonna win. They have no chance. Because I promise, if Aaron Donald gets his hands on him, he's gonna fumble at least once or twice.
Yep. Aaron Donald.
Von Miller, he's been here before. He's not obviously as good as he used to be,
Yep.
but
he's still.
Last year, he played and he was MVP.
Yep. I mean,
and he's gonna get single teamed.
Yep. He always steps up, and with that double teaming coming to Donald, as Kurt said, Von Miller should have a chance to really have an impact on this game, stopping the run and getting to the pass, as he will be ultimately single covered unless they go with Leonard Floyd on that side. Who knows where they'll go? But either way, one of those two are going to get single coverage with Donald requiring a double team at all time. And it'll be interesting to see if the Bengals got one more game and they can finish off this magical season.
Man, I hope not.
I think that as we dive into, I'm gonna dive into what I think will need to happen for each team to win. So obviously we touched on the Rams already and their defensive line. On the offensive side of the ball, I think they need to establish the run early. I think that they need to try to establish the run and kind of keep the ball in Stafford's hand, honestly, because he's not used to these moments. And I think you got to play into your team's hand and try to just ease him into this one using the ground game. So I think that's something that they should focus on instead of just trying to go out there and sling the rock. Because Stafford has shown he will throw some picks. When given the chance, he will throw some picks. And to that Cincinnati defensive back, that isn't the best, but it's definitely improved with guys like Jesse Bates, Awuzie. Eli Apple's had his moments, I guess, but for the most part, he just gets torched. And if he has to play against Odell, yikes, that's going to be a tough one for him. But that run game, and then Stafford, just make the throws, man. Just don't overcomplicate things. Play in the moment. The Rams had to be the favorite, and I hope it just doesn't get to his head, man. I hope the moment doesn't get to his head. But everybody around our area, Michigan, Ohio, all that shit, is rooting for Matt Stafford. So, what do you guys say about the take for this one?
Let's see. For the Rams to win, I would say defensively, I know this is going to sound ridiculous, but this is what I would just do personally. I would put Jalen Ramsey on T. Higgins and put two guys over the top on Jamar Chase rather than the other way around.
That's smart. Because then you neutralize Higgins automatically with Ramsey, and then you put two on Jamar Chase, and what did you do against two people?
That's what I would do, and then that's just going to let your pass rush feast if the Bengals don't get a run game going. But that's what I would do defensively. And for the Rams offensively, I want to say just stick to what's got them this far. If Stafford's slinging it with Cooper Kupp, I know they're going to keep doing that. And then Odell's just going to be single-teamed. I know they're going to look for that. And for the Bengals to win, man, I ain't going to lie. I don't really see them winning this game. I can't think of a way for them to win other than neutralizing that pass rush by running the ball good.
Yeah, for me,
I don't see the Bengals. I picked against them every week, but this is a tough matchup for them. This is a tough. Yeah. The Rams are just a tough matchup because their defense.
Then their offense has improved because they finally got a quarterback that can move the ball down the field. But yeah, I think that in order for the Bengals to win, it's going to be
they're going to need turnovers.
And
they're going to need some turnovers. They're going to need Stafford to throw some dumb interceptions for them to win this game.
Stafford's going to have to play uncharacteristically really bad because he's had some bad moments, but he'd have to really, in my opinion, play the worst game of the season almost for them to have a chance. Unless that O-line just comes together and finds a way to take out Goliath here, you know what I mean? Because that's really what it is at this point, David versus Goliath. But like Kurt said, he's picked against him every week. So have I. I thought maybe they could beat Tennessee, but I thought the Chiefs would steamroll them. So, and it just came down to they did what it took. But I think, like Kurt said, that's a really, really tough matchup for anybody, let alone the Bengals. And so Jamar Chase would have to either make Jalen Ramsey turn into a garbage corner, or
that's going to be a good. I want to see how the Rams are going to play that.
Right.
Because for the most part this year, they've only played Jalen Ramsey on one side of the field instead of letting him follow.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to work out.
Does he follow, or do they strategically play?
Or do they stick to their guns and kind of just say,
hey, it's where before.
What do they take out just Chase and then Higgins eats? That's the biggest thing. Because that's what it was last week. The Chiefs neutralized Jamar Chase for the most part until about the second half. And then that's when the Bengals came back. They got Chase a touchdown fade. He started getting the ball more, but the Chiefs really tried taking him out, and then that's how T. Higgins just kind of went off, honestly. Obviously, the Bengals are going to just try to neutralize Cooper Kupp, so Odell's probably going to eat then, honestly.
Yeah.
With the single teams.
Yeah. I think that they can't play two safeties.
A lot of good matchups.
So, there's a lot of good
matchups here.
And I think this is a really good matchup. Usually it's been, there's just been too many. It's a unique matchup for one, which is really nice. Fresh faces, new teams, stuff like that. And this is one of the best, I think, matchups. Because it's really interesting. It's like, on one hand, the Rams could just go in there and dominate the Bengals. They could finally just run out of their magic. Or, the Bengals could show they have fight left and actually push to win a Super Bowl finally after, 36 Some 30.
They. The last time they were in the Super Bowl was like 1988.
Yeah, 31 something.
And I want to say it was against the Niners. Joe Montana.
It's been a lot. Yeah, yep.
So they never won one, and the Rams have only won one Super Bowl against the Titans back in the early 2000s with Kurt Warner, Marshall Faulk.
Oh wow, yeah. Two new teams, some crazy matchups on the line. So let's get into our predictions, Kurt. I want to hear your prediction, your score prediction, and what ultimately you think happens. MVPs as well. I want MVPs.
MVP. Ooh. The MVP part's tough. I feel like if the Rams win, though, the candidates that come to mind for MVP would be two guys. I would say Aaron Donald could be one if he really eats, but I don't know. They love quarterbacks. I'm going to say Stafford wins MVP, Super Bowl MVP for sure. I know he's the hands-on favorite to win it, so it's probably obvious, but I feel like for them to win, he's gonna throw a couple tutties and no interceptions.
That and just the storyline of Stafford coming there in the first year, making the Super Bowl run.
I mean, they went all in this year too.
Yeah, they
traded for him. They traded their future draft picks, and they traded more picks for Von Miller.
It's gonna be rough when this team falls apart, but I mean, at this point, the Rams aren't worried about they got the team together, and now it's just like, well, let's win now. Yeah, so I like McVay's approach. They'll worry about the future when they have to worry about the future, but they're worried about right now, and I think they've done a good job of managing their assets and turning them into very valuable players that's gotten them this far. So, what do you think score prediction?
I don't think the Bengals are going to get blown out. I could see how they would, but I just don't see it because every week, I mean, like we said, we haven't given them. I feel like we're not giving them enough credit, but it's just like. They've got, I don't know. I'm going to say Rams 27, Bengals 20.
I like that.
One-score game. Nothing too crazy high scoring, but some defense played still.
Yeah.
One-score game.
I like a... I think it's under 30 is the winner. So I'm going to say...
Yeah. I don't see... If anyone scores 30, then they're getting blown out. That's where I'm at with it.
I'm feeling I don't think it's a game-winning field goal. I think it's a touchdown game, so I'll go 28-21. Rams on top at the end. I think Burrow gets him down the field, and I think he either turns it over on down. I think that he comes up just a little bit short, and I think I got the Rams winning by 7. So that would give Stafford the MVP in my opinion as well. I think just based off the storyline, I think you'd have to give it to him. Never making a run, dealing with Detroit for so long, and then his first year out of there, they finally get a team around him, and he gets his first playoff win, and he gets his first Super Bowl ring in the same year. I think that's a storyline that just must be kept off with the Super Bowl MVP for Matt Stafford. So I'll go 28-21 Rams with Matt Stafford winning on offense, but I will also say. If the Bengals were to win, I think it would take Joe Burrow playing the game of his life. So on that same hand, I think that I would give Joe Burrow the MVP of the week. But if it went to the Bengals.
If the Bengals were to win, it had to be him for sure. Maybe Chase, but I just don't see it. I don't think the Rams are going to let him that.
Yep, I feel like they say, let's take away Chase.
Like if he starts to do good, they're going to put Ramsey and just let him follow.
Yeah, yep. They would have to make a quick adjustment of that. Like if he gets a couple nice
I'm saying after the first quarter or two, if he's doing too much, they're gonna try to adjust.
Because Ramsey will even go there and be like, "Hey man, like he's getting a lot. Let me go lock this dude down." So that's what we're going with our Super Bowl predictions. Everybody enjoy the game tomorrow. Be responsible, and hope you guys enjoy the game. But we were now going to break off into some coverage of some Michigan basketball. We had 3 games slated this week. The Penn State game, me and Kurt both watched. The Michigan looked like they would lose to Mac schools at that point. I was beyond frustrated. They win by 1 point against a really bad Penn State basketball team, and I thought it was downhill, especially with the stretch of three games in 5 days with Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday.
Mm-hmm.
So That's a rough stretch to go on, playing some incredible basketball teams in Ohio State tonight. That's 17th, I believe, in the nation, and Purdue on Thursday. That was number 3 in the country. So we touched on Penn State a little bit. Michigan played sloppy, shot the ball really poorly. Brandon Johns is just playing
nothing new.
A lot.
Nothing new.
They were the same Michigan basketball team that we saw, the whole year, and they escaped by the skin of their teeth, 58-57. Dickinson has really turned it on. I still complain, and I will complain, that he is too soft, and I think that he will be bodied in the NBA unless he just becomes a power forward that shoots, which could be a
stretch.
Which could be a really possible scenario for him. He puts up 19 against Penn State. He does get 15 rebounds, 4 blocks. So I mean, he did play pretty physical there. But I
took him a lot of shots though.
He was 6 for 20. That's what was bad. I remember that. I mean, you put up 19 points, but you see 20 times.
You take 20 shots.
You take 20 shots. I need more than that. You got Eli Brooks had a good game with 16 points, 4 of 9. Brandon Johns played 11 minutes, 5 points, 2 of 6. I just shaking my head. I got nothing. Husan, 33 minutes, 6 points, 1 of 4. Again, he's just been bad. Jones in this one, 7 points, 5 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 of 9 shooting. Awful. And then Diabate was 3 points, 5 rebounds, 1 of 4. So just a very bad game. And that's really how I'm going to give it. It was early in the week.
They won.
They won. It's a really important win because, we lose that game. You probably don't see the performance we saw on Thursday. Because I think that Howard knows that it's the end of the year and we're not a tournament team. Right now we're predicted to be one of the first 4 out by some people. So Michigan really needs to go on a stretch here if they want to make the NCAA tournament. And so they come out Thursday. And I'm optimistic, but I'm very cautious. And I'm watching the game, and Michigan just comes out and they take it to Purdue off the rip. Crazy shooting night for the team. They put up 82 on the number 3 team, Purdue, and they end up handing them their 3rd loss of the year. Kurt said he didn't watch this one, so I will cover most of it, and then Kurt can give his thoughts. Dickinson, 22 points, 8 of 15, 9 rebounds. Diabate, 15 points. He played 33 minutes, 7 of 12.
I think his name's Diabate.
Diabate?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
I don't think it's Diabate. It might be.
Diabate?
That's how the announcers pronounced it the other day.
Fair enough. Diabate, 15 points. He played 33 minutes, 4 rebounds, 7 of 12. Dickinson, 8 of 15, 22, 9. Daniel Jones, 11 points, 4 of 7, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. That's the kind of game I need out of Daniel Jones. That's all I need. 4 of 7, 11 points, get 10 assists. We win basketball games that way. Eli Brooks, 34 minutes, 18 points, 7 of 8 from the field. He shot lights out. This team, these guys are 3-point shooters. Dickinson, 4 of 6. Eli Brooks, 4 of 4. Houston, 4 of 6. And then Diabate, 0 of 1. Yep. Okay. And then nobody else put in significant 5 of 10, 14 points. Houston, yeah, got that. Brandon Johns played 7 minutes. He played terrible again. Who knows? 1 of 4. Just typical Brandon Johns stuff. I don't like to hate on him, but he should be playing on our basketball team, to be honest. And with touching on that, Kurt, what do you have to say before we jump into today's matchup?
I gotta say, maybe a big reason why they played so well was after last Saturday when we watched them play Purdue, they probably felt pretty confident playing against them again.
Yeah, they did.
Because that was a close game.
That's a good point. It was a close game and a quick turnaround for this Michigan team, and they had to have some games rescheduled. So a quick turnaround of just not even, a couple days from the time that they played them the first time. So that definitely played into Michigan's favor as they were close to beating them the first time in Purdue. So they play them again.
Quick turnaround.
In Chrysler, and they get the win.
Sounds like the biggest adjustment was actually just hitting open shots for once. Honestly.
I've been very critical of Howard's rotation. I think he deserves that. But what he doesn't deserve is the criticism these guys are getting from a majority of what they're losing. He's got a lot of good basketball players on this team, and he doesn't really have the rotation down as good as I would like him to at this point in the year. But I believe that he's putting them in play. He's putting Michigan players in places to make plays and make shots, and they just miss. So that's not on him. He can't shoot the shots for him. So I have a hard time blaming him.
I'm with you there. That's about as from what I've seen, they're in position to make the shots. They're just not doing it, honestly.
So that's a tough pill to swallow. And Michigan's Achilles heel has always been, with Beeline it's always been the three-point shooting. The three-point shooting teams that are good for Michigan make it to Final Fours and Elite Eights, and they do this incredible stuff. And the ones that can't shoot always end up, and now usually we end up with two good big men. Now we really only have Dickinson.
We only have one. So that's for sure.
That's a rough loss, and we need another big center. As Dickinson probably goes pro. I don't know. Who knows? I don't really see the buzz that I thought I would have out of him. So who knows? But Michigan beats Purdue by 24, 82-58 was the final. A big statement win for Michigan, and hopefully that will push them back into the top 25. But Michigan must go on a run here to end the year. Yeah, just crazy to think about them not being in the top 25.
Not even ranked. That's so unfamiliar.
But the schedule for Michigan here is not very favorable. So they play an Iowa team that's 16-7. So they're a little bit worse than Michigan in the standings. That's after the Ohio State game. So I'll talk about the schedule and then we can talk about Ohio State. So we got Iowa, a little bit worse than us, Hopefully, you come out.
It's winnable.
It's winnable, probably. Wisconsin, the number 14 team, 19-4. They are playing out of their minds spectacular. Shooting, they're on pace for 68 points a game. Shooting, 42% from the field isn't the best. 31 from 3. They're not actually shooting as good as I would have thought. We're out rebounding them and out assisting them. But they're 19-4. They just found ways to win the games that we haven't, and so that's why they're in the position they're in. They're second in the Big Ten, so that's a big matchup. We play Rutgers, and then we got Rutgers is actually good at 14-9. They're right. We're right at the same with them. So that's actually probably could end up being a close game.
That's gonna be a close game. That's gonna be a close game.
We play them at home at least. We play Wisconsin on the road too, so they're good and we're on the road.
That's gonna be tough.
That's a tough matchup.
That's gonna be tough for sure.
We play Rutgers at home. We play Illinois at home, and then we play Michigan State March 1st at home. We play Iowa again, and then we end the year before the Big Ten tournament at Ohio State, the last game of the year. So a tough.
Sounds like a pretty tough road. Tough road.
Tough slate for this team to try to make the tournament, but this is where we got the meat of the schedule on the back end of the schedule.
I mean, if they win most of those games, they should be in.
Oh yeah, honestly. Rumor is that I've heard 6 of 9. So say you lose 1 to Ohio State. Okay, let's say you lose 1 to Ohio State. Let's say you drop the Wisconsin game, and you could probably afford maybe like a Illinois or a Michigan State loss, but you'd have to win the rest. So if you win 6 and 9, I feel like you're in, and I've heard that thrown around, and now that I'm looking at it, I do believe that. But before we look too far into the future, let's dive into the preview. Michigan in Chrysler tonight, taking on the 16th ranked, 14-6 Ohio State. They're pretty much the same. Ohio State shoots 47.8. We shoot 47.2. They 3-point percentage. They shoot 8.8%. We shoot 6.6. Oh, that's how many you take. I don't know what that means.
Was that attempts game?
3 points. Oh, it must be attempts.
Maybe.
Then, they shoot 37% from the 3. We shoot 35. They shoot 74 from free throw. We shoot 71. So this is a really close matchup. 33.2 for Ohio State on rebounds. 33.7 on rebounds for us. So this should be a really tightly close matchup here. Michigan wins the offensive rebounds. Ohio State wins the assists and steals. Turnovers were a little bit worse. True shooting percentage, they're a little bit better. And they have better ratings on offensive rating and defensive rating. But it's really close. So this should be a really...
Should be a good one.
Should be a good one. 6 o'clock tonight in Chrysler. Yeah, man, this is going to be... I don't know what to say about it. It's gonna be close. It's a game that I think if you're gonna beat Ohio State, it's probably gonna be at home. And everybody's been calling for this to be a must win. And for us to win 6-9,
it feels like a must win.
For us to win 6-9, I would rather us have a must win here than have a must win and get
last game of the season
at Ohio State. That's a rough game to win. Just go out there tonight. Let's take care of business. Let's get this monkey on our back. And I think if we beat them, I think this could really propel us into this last
game
rough
changer
stretch. Yeah, this Purdue game Thursday and this game today could be season changing. Could make or break our season. Because the loss to Ohio State here could just deflate the team right back down. And we're with a lot still to come.
That's pretty fair to say.
Yeah.
I would say. Yeah, I mean, if we gotta win tonight. We just gotta win. I don't.
How I think we're gonna do it though. I think that Dickinson needs to continue to shoot because at this point he's a 3-point shooting machine. And I like that he's making the open ones consistently. But I said it all year long, and it just keeps ringing true. We need good guard play. We win these basketball games. It's really because we have the supporting cast. It's quite that simple, and that's what it really has been for Michigan is terrible guard play, and that's what's caused a lot of these losses, in my opinion.
Yeah,
we have to give Dickinson the ball. They're starting to run the offense through him, and I love to see that. He's our best player. He's
obviously the best player,
and he should have the ball in his hands as much as he possibly can. So we just need guys when they do have shots open off screens, we just gotta make them, and we're gonna go a long way. I really feel that. Let's do a little fun prediction. Kurt, what do you got for the Michigan Ohio State score tonight in Chrysler?
I'm gonna say Michigan pulls it off 70 to 68. Close game.
Buzzer beater or last defensive stop?
Defense.
Kurt got 70 to 68?
70 to 68.
Got it. I'm gonna say it's a close game. I think that Michigan wins by, I'm gonna say maybe 2 baskets at the end with free throws. And I'm gonna say Michigan takes it 64 to 60. 64 to 60. I think Michigan takes it in this one. We both got Michigan winning, obviously. I can't go wrong. But, I mean, hey, I'm a realist, though. If they wouldn't have won this game, I would have probably picked Ohio State to win this one. But that Purdue win, I really think, could change the season. And we're going to see if that's true tonight. So we both got Michigan winning. Kurt, you got anything as we...
I think it's going to be a close game. It could go either way, but we need this game a lot more than they do.
I think that this... And that's what I really think is going to be the deciding factor. I think Michigan now knows they're this close to making the tournament after it was a long shot now. I think that this win for Michigan means a lot more than it would a loss to Ohio State. And I think that just the extra drive that we're going to need, I think that's what propels us to win it tonight. So yeah, we'll take Michigan tonight. And Kurt, you got anything else you want to add before you close it out?
No, I think we touched everything pretty solid.
Got it.
Everything pretty good.
Episode 3, wrapping it up here. Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Hunter Keister, Kurt Mackey. That'll do it. The one and only, the duo. Let's go. Made on Ridgeway Sports Podcast. Share, like, follow us. We're on every podcast you can imagine. Subscribe on YouTube. We're all over the place. We're gonna be here for a while. So hope you guys enjoyed this one. Enjoy the Super Bowl. Enjoy the games. If you're a Michigan fan, I love you. Go Blue. If you're Ohio State, you know what I want to say to you, but we keep this PG-13. So I'm gonna end it off here with the big Go Blue. Let's go get a win tonight, boys.